Imagine your phone rings. It's not just a ring, it's a sonic assault. You look at the screen like it's a ticking time bomb handed to you by a clown. You don't answer it. You throw it on the couch and stare at it until it stops, heart hammering against your ribs. Then, the inevitable happens. Someone knocks on your door. "Hey, you okay? Just checking in." Panic. Absolute primal panic. You'd rather perform dental surgery on yourself with a rusty spoon than engage in small talk right now. You turn off the lights. You hide under a blanket. You become a phantom in your own house. Here is what people think is happening. They think you are depressed. They think you are being a jerk. They think you hate them. Spoiler alert, it is none of those things. It isn't that you're broken. It's not that you're antisocial. It's that your operating system has encountered a critical error and is forcing a restart. Society loves the talk it out method. If you're stressed, the world tells you to vent, to seek support, to go to a group brunch and hash it out over mimosas. To you, that sounds like trying to put out a forest fire with gasoline. The world views isolation as a symptom of sickness. They see a closed door and assume something is wrong inside. But for you, the closed door isn't a prison, it's a shield. You are not pushing people away because you don't love them. You are pushing them away because you are currently too raw to be touched. Society calls this avoidance. We call it tactical retreat. You aren't weird for needing a cave. You aren't broken for needing silence. You are just protecting the little energy you have left from vampires who don't even know they are biting you. You are not broken. You are not weird. You are just defending the fortress. Let's pump the brakes and look at the motherboard. When a neurotypical person gets stressed, their cortisol, think of it like the body's alarm system, spikes, and they often seek the herd for safety. It's an old safety in numbers algorithm. But your brain? Your brain runs a different script. When you hit peak stress, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, responsible for logic, social niceties, and pretending to care about the weather, essentially hands in its resignation letter and walks out of the building. It's like a computer trying to run a high-end VR game on a Windows 95 desktop. The whole system freezes to prevent permanent hardware damage. This is a phenomenon known as the social withdrawal reflex. Your amygdala, the panic button, jams the signal. It screams, "Close the gates!" Think of your social battery like an old smartphone. It doesn't just drain slowly, it drops from 40% to 1% in 3 seconds flat. To prevent a total shutdown, your brain initiates a safe mode. In this mode, only essential functions run: breathing, eating cheese, and binge-watching shows you've seen 12 times because the predictability is soothing. Processing new human interaction requires bandwidth you simply do not have. You aren't ignoring people, you literally cannot render their graphics right now. But here's the kicker. This isn't a flaw. This is actually a highly sophisticated preservation strategy. Evolutionary psychology suggests that in early human tribes, not everyone could be the loud warrior screaming at the tiger. Someone had to be the silent observer, the one who stayed back, conserved energy, and noticed the subtle changes in the environment. That's you. Your ability to isolate is actually a form of extreme self-regulation. While others need external validation to calm down, essentially outsourcing their emotional regulation, you are self-sustaining. You are an emotional camel in the desert of stress. You have a fortress mentality. Stories on solitude suggest that high-functioning introverts use this time not just to hide, but to process data that others miss. You aren't sulking. You are defragging the hard drive. It is a sign of high internal intelligence to know exactly when your tank is empty and to refuse to drive another mile until you've refueled. Congratulations, you have boundaries that actually work. However, there is a risk. If you stay in the cave too long, you forget how to hunt. But for the short term, it's genius. Where does this come from? It's deep code. Likely, you grew up in an environment where things were chaotic, loud, or emotionally unpredictable. As a kid, your room wasn't just a room, it was your only controlled variable. You learned early on that people equal unpredictability and solitude equals safety. Your brain became a pattern recognition machine. You learned to read the temperature of a room instantly. If the vibes were off, you vanished. It's similar to the Japanese concept of hitori, the appreciation of doing things alone and finding solace in solitude, but dialed up to a survival mechanism. You learned that you cannot control the chaos out there, but you can control the silence in here. This isn't just childhood stuff, it's ancestral. Your ancestors were likely the ones who survived plagues by staying away from the coughing crowds. You come from a long line of people who knew when to bolt the door. Real talk, your isolation is just ancient wisdom keeping you alive in a world that won't stop screaming. So how does this manifest in your daily life? 1. You experience a euphoria when plans get canceled that is better than any drug. It's like winning the lottery, but better, because you don't have to go collect the check. 2. You go to the bathroom at parties not to pee, but to sit on the closed lid and stare at the wall for 5 minutes to recharge. That bathroom is your sanctuary. The tile grout is your best friend. 3. You wear headphones with no music playing just so people won't talk to you at the grocery store. It's the universal "do not disturb" sign hung around your neck. 4. You have a stare pile, a specific spot in your room where you just sit and dissociate after a long day. 5. You draft text messages, stare at them, and then delete them because hitting send feels like opening a portal to a dimension you don't have the energy to visit. You aren't lazy, you are just buffering. Here is your permission slip. Stop apologizing for disappearing. Stop feeling guilty because you can't answer the phone right now. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. If you need to go into the cave, go into the cave. Stay there until you are ready. The world will still be there when you get back, unfortunately. You aren't being difficult. You are engaging in high-level maintenance of a luxury vehicle. You're not broken. You're just built different. And honestly, the world could use a little more silence. If this video just explained your entire existence, don't scroll. The next video explains why you feel physically sick after too much social interaction, the sensory hangover. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Tell me in the comments, what's your go-to excuse to get out of plans? I know you have a good one.